Journey getting to this day, October 16th, 2025. But
mind you, October 16th is the birth date of his late son, Nico. I guess he really wanted to stick it to Julie.
But according to the courts, trying to ruin my name and trying to bring harm to my family in a book filled with lies equals $8.8 million.
So all Julie little money she made on her music and the book, she's gonna have to pay back to Brian. Wow.
Do not text Nico again. Do not call Nico again. I am very serious about.
Hey, it's your sister Rose. So a few months ago I made a video where I talked about how I believe that Julie Mcknight had a hand in how she was one of the factors. She is not the only one. One of the factors how the relationship between Brian McKnight and his sons had deteriorated. And this was when Nico had died, and then people had got some of his old tweets where he wanted his last wish was that he, mend things with his dad, and he wanted his dad to say that he loved him one more time. But then, of course, Brian couldn't arbitrarily tell him that he loved him, which is like whatever. But Julie did have a hand in what happened with the relationship with Brian McKnight and his son, because Brian McKnight was, of course, the starter of it, because, as he admitted, he gave them everything that they wanted. They didn't no struggle. They never had a bad day. And then they really didn't do any effort to bring stability in their lives, the young men, where they didn't need him anymore. So when he was trying to go about, getting them, I guess, letting them stand on their own 2 feet, he went about it the wrong way. And plus, I don't think Julie, the ex-wife, really helped in a sense. She probably saw this as a door for her to drive a wedge between them, because she was upset about Brian, because Brian left her. Because look, I don't know why she holding on to the McKnight last name. If he was so bad, because she was spilling all his tea on Tasha K, he was so bad to you, why are you still holding on to his name? Doesn't make any sense at all. But here's a snippet of what I said a few months ago, so many months ago, a few months ago. But my thing is how the relationship between him and his son deteriorated. I always wondered, what did the mother do to help do anything to try to mend the situation? One thing I know is that this lady had a lot of influence on those young boys, because she was always with them. She was the mother. Brian McKnight mostly probably was always on tour. He was always doing stuff to bring in money for the family. So she had a lot of influence. So she had influence to influence them to, do the right thing or don't do the right thing. Because I remember he said that, when he had to cut them off, they were like in their 20s, and they really hadn't did anything for their lives, rent for them, did whatever he had to do to give them a head start. But they still hadn't do anything. So what did the mom do? What was she doing? What did she do? And then all this caused a rift within their relationship. And when she saw this rift happen, what did she, try to mend it, or did she try to exploit it? Okay, since you left me, since you did this, you did that, this is my way of getting back at you. I'm going to drive a wedge between you and your boys. Because before all this happened, them boys was his pride and joy. But then something happened. And I'm looking at the mother. I'm looking at Brian McKnight too, because he didn't do anything. It's like whatever was going on, with all the stuff that these young men was doing, what he's experiencing between them, he played into it too. He's like, okay, since y'all don't want to listen to me, y'all don't want to do this, I'm going to replace you guys with, come on, using the other, it's like, to me, he's using the other kids to get back at his children to maybe get them in line. So Julie Mcknight betted and she lost. She was betting on the fact that, well, she had 2 boys with Brian McKnight. She was married to him, so she could go around just doing book tours, and going on Tasha K and stuff like that, and saying all these things, what he did, what Brian McKnight did to her, and different things like that, but yet would not drop his last name. You're still holding on to his name because you know ain't nobody gonna listen to you by your maiden name. That's why you needed his name to make money. And now all that little bit of money that she made, she has to pay back Brian McKnight $8.8 million. Yes, Brian McKnight still is a jerk, but now you got to pay the jerk $8.8 million because you bet it and you lost. Thinking that, oh, he's not going to do anything. We got kids together. We got history together. But that man still feels some type of way about you because those boys were his pride and joy. And when he wanted to, I guess, he waited too late, in my opinion. You can't wait till people set in their ways, older. That's when you want to do something with the boys. But you didn't have his back. You didn't have his back when he was trying to make a change. And all of this is my opinion. So when he really wanted to do something to these boys so they could stand on their own 2 feet, so they could have stability, but Julie didn't really do nothing. Leilani was trying to come and help maybe, but Leilani is not their mother. So had Brian McKnight and Julie was on the same page when he was trying to bring some change, maybe the trajectory of the young man's life, it's not like their life was, bad, but it would have been different. So of course he feels some type of way against Julie, about that. So since he saw that loophole, he saw that opportunity when she was spreading these things about him to sue her, he took it. He took it. He didn't care that she was the mother of his children. She was his wife. Because at that point, it didn't matter anymore. He's hurt, and Brian is hurt, and he's on some revenge, and Julie has to pay for that. That's a lot of money for revenge. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.